What is up, everybody? Colorful Entertainment here with red, orange, and purple for podcast number 2. And as you can see, we are playing Apex with the new game mode Battle Armor that just came out today. And today's podcast is going to be about video games that made your childhood. So the first one I want to say that really made my childhood, Spyro Year of the Dragon for PlayStation 1. And they remastered it. And to me, what made it so good was I thought it was just fun. Like, I don't know. That was like one of the first PlayStation games I had, and I enjoyed it very much. I really want the remastered version, or just like the whole kit, but I thought it was really good. I liked it. The boss battle. You never played it? The boss battles were neat, I thought. The worlds that you went into to find the eggs and whatnot was good. So.
One of the games that made one of my childhood was Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, really?
PlayStation 3, yeah.
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank was
never played it.
They're very good. I didn't like the most recent one, but all the other ones were fucking great. They were super fun, ingenuitive. I thought they were fun as shit. And the acting on the video game was atrocious. So that made it so much funnier. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it was bad. Your turn, Brick Boy.
So, one of my favorite games was on the GameCube.
Oh, GameCube.
Yeah, I know. We're bringing it back old school.
I already brought it back old school. What do you mean?
Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic
Adventure. Kind of made me a Sonic fan.
Made you Sonic. I used to play a Sonic game on a Sega that my grandma had. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head, but like when I see like stuff on Facebook about like Sonic, like it always brings me back to going to grandma's house and playing Sonic on the Sega she had.
But what made Sonic Adventure 2 so great is they had this thing called the Chow Garden. And you could like have your own chows, you can breed them, make your own, you can level it up and train it to like fight other chows and stuff, and it was so fun. My brother and I probably spent a good 30 hours just breeding and leveling up our chows and competing against each other. It was so much fun.
Was it like 3D or 2D?
Yeah, it was 3D. 3D, yeah.
Okay. This one's underrated. I believe I've told Purple this. King Kong. Peter Jackson's King Kong for the PlayStation 2.
Such a long conversation about this.
That game is so underrated in my opinion.
Bro, that's because it's graphically horrible and the story sucks.
It was a PlayStation 2, and the story did not suck. It followed the movie.
Bro, I've seen the gameplay. It may be a PlayStation 2 game, but it barely functioned.
Whatever. I thought it was great. What I liked about it was the combat style. There's so many different enemies, and the fact that you got to play King Kong himself and fight things was even better. The voice acting was good. Of course, I mean it was the voice actors were the actors from the movie, so you're looking at like Jack Black. I mean, he's the really only notable one from the movie that I remember. Yeah, like everything just about it was, right from the movie. I'm trying to think of like the boss battles as Kong. Some of them were tough because you had to like fight 3 V-Rexes at one point, and I always had like this strategy of take out 2 and then just go and murder the one. Because the one that was like way over there was by himself, so and he wouldn't aggro until you got close to him. But one of the hardest missions I remember on that game, man, was have you guys ever seen King Kong, the Peter Jackson one?
Nope.
Okay. Well, there's a part of the movie where like all of like the main character, or not main characters, but they're running, and like these dinosaurs running down this road or something, and they're getting chased by like raptors. Well, you actually do that part in the game, and that part was so hard because not only are you trying to not get stepped on, but you're also trying to run away from uh, the raptors. It was very hard. I remember that was probably the hardest part of that game.
That was my turn. A good one was Halo 2 for the original Xbox. It was real good. I love the Halo games, but Halo 2 stuck out the most.
I've only played the multiplayer of one of the Halo games. I don't know if it was Halo 2 or Halo 1.
It was fun. I memorized every map. I could whoop anybody at any of the maps.
Could you still do it now?
Yeah, most definitely. I remember. I own it. I own an Xbox and Halo 2, and I could 100% sweep anybody I went against. I would slaughter you like a dog. What is another one? Oh yeah, I remember what made it so vivid was I was playing campaign one day, and you have to drive this drive a tank across a bridge, and there's a hole in it, but there's a checkpoint right at the hole. You're supposed to guide the tank around the edge, but if you slip and fall, you hit the checkpoint, and then you just you hit the checkpoint, die, hit the checkpoint, die, hit the checkpoint, die. I remember I sat there baffled. Or... Yeah, I remember I sat there baffled. I was like, baffled. The fuck? Sorry, was that too big of a word for me to use for you, Connor?
Yeah.
Should I use... Okay.
Too big.
Your turn.
Alright, so on the topic of Halo, when I got my Xbox 360,
I know what
it
you're gonna
came
say.
with Halo Reach.
Mm-hmm. The most overrated game.
What do you mean? Halo Reach? I haven't played any of the others. Halo Reach, Halo 5, which is bad. Any Halo that wasn't made by Bungie is just bad. And it's gone downhill.
I did not know about that.
Personally, to me, I do not like them, and that's kind of why Xbox has kind of gone downhill, because they don't have any good exclusives to,
They've got a war.
Yeah, PlayStation.
If you like racing games too, you like
yeah, Forza is on Xbox.
Yeah, Gears of War.
Gears of War was good. When I bought the Xbox off this one kid, I actually got Gears of War. I actually got one. I got 1 and 2 and I think 3, but I finished the first one. I got to, because it's like it was too much of a hassle, like switching back and forth from PlayStation to Xbox. So I was just like, I'm just gonna stick with the PlayStation. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gears of War is fun. I like Gears of War.
But back to Reach, I love the campaign. I loved almost all the characters except 2, June and Kat. I hated Kat so much because the driving AI was just so bad. You would get in a Warthog and she would be driving and would just stop. But right when you get out, she would just drive off. Or if she drove, she would drive you off a cliff. No wonder she didn't survive that long. I love George. Emil was one of my favorites. I actually, because the customization was so good, I made my guy look like Emil. I looked up a YouTube tutorial just to find out like what little pieces I needed for like the wrist and the chest piece to look like Emil. So, Jesus. And then Forge, that's always fun when you get bored of multiplayer, the campaign. You can go into Forge and just do dumb shit with your friends. The campaign, again, was amazing. When you get to go into space and just fly around and shoot things, that was awesome. The one thing I hated about Reach which is annoying, was just the bloom system or whatever the mechanic was for the firing and the guns. I don't know what it was called, but it was really bad. So,
Huh.
yeah.
This one's gonna be a shock. I don't know. This isn't something any of you guys put the PlayStation 1, have you?
I
No.
played games on the PlayStation 1.
This is my
Alright.
first PlayStation, so
Um, Rugrats, the video game,
The fuck?
PlayStation 1. Yeah.
hold up.
Rugrats, the video game for PlayStation 1. Look it up. They made a video game.
Doesn't surprise me though.
The
Yeah.
Rugrats.
fuck do you like that game?
This was when I was younger. I just remember it was it was unique because you played all the characters from the TV show. I also had a SpongeBob one. The SpongeBob one was difficult, but the Rugrats one, I remember beating it so many times. The ending of the Rugrats game, you got to play as Reptar, and Reptar was like, it was like Tommy or somebody was having a dream about Reptar, and you got to play Reptar and like run around a city and destroy stuff. It was pretty cool. So that was something I really remember, and just the missions of playing like different characters was good because they're all different. They were all different. They all had like different things. Like one was you actually got to play their dog. I can't remember the dog's name, and you had like chase down a goose that was carrying
Tastes like a gooch.
not a gooch. Yeah, chase down like this goose carrying something. So it was fun. I was like, man, like I was debating on not saying that one, but that one, yeah.
Tell them what. I got a twofer.
Twofer.
They're both Bionicle games.
I was personally a Lego guy. I don't think I ever played the Bionicle games.
Bionicle was the shit, and no one can tell me otherwise.
I
Now,
watched
the first
movies,
one,
though.
of course I fucking watched movies. Those movies was the shit. I watched, I fucking, there was this one on Game Boy, the Game Boy Advanced, that I played,
Okay.
and you could, there was a glitch, like a bug, that you could get infinite money in the game if you did it correctly, and I glitched it and got infinite money when I didn't even mean to. So, yeah. And then the other game was like it was on Xbox. It was the shit. It was so good. It's so good.
I vaguely remember Bionicles, but like I know what you're talking about.
You and you could you had to like find people, and when you killed the bosses, you could become the bosses, and you need to collect certain like people and individuals in order to unlock specific areas of the map. So you had to like replay the maps and stuff. Oh, it was so good. And you could buy stuff. Bro, I was pimping in that game.
Whatever happened to Bionicles? It was big, and I don't see them anymore.
Well, there was a big Toys R Us thing. Bionicle was found primarily at Toys R Us. Then Toys R Us went out and all that, so
Rest in peace, Bionicles.
Didn't the Toys R Us come back?
Well,
No,
like
I
a
think
couple
it's like-
locations, and they're only open during the holidays. They're like a
probably
Spirit
like
Halloween.
Oh, okay.
No, it's like Blockbuster.
The Blockbuster was a shit. Don't diss on Blockbuster. I remember like when you see the
I
memes
do.
about going to Blockbuster, like yeah, that was my childhood as well.
Alright, your turn.
Alright, so one of my favorites, and it's still probably one of my all-time favorite games, is Team Fortress 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah, me and you talked about it the other day. You said
Yeah, we did.
TF2, and I was like Titanfall 2, and you're like no, and I was like oh.
No. This is better than Overwatch. It's one of the best class-based shooters. One, it was free, and you could run it. I run it on my crappy Mac, and that's what got me. My friends and I in middle school, they're like, "Hey, have you heard of TF2?" I'm like, "No." Is it on Xbox? And they're like, "No, we're not plebs. We play on computer." I'm like, "Oh, so you play Minecraft?" They're like, "No, there's other games than Minecraft on the computer. I'm like, wait, really? They're like, yes. And then they introduced me to TF2. They showed me videos. You could like rocket jump across the map with this guy with a rocket launcher. You could beat someone with a fish wrapped in a newspaper. Like
What?
this. Oh, it's wacky. Like the TF2's the best. One of my favorite characters was Demo Man and Engineer because Engineer
You
had
look like
a
engineer.
taunt where he could place down like his mechanical box and a mechanical like relax chair would just come out and you would just be sitting in the chair drinking a beer while a sentry would just shoot people. Now
Speaking of
Yeah.
beating people with random things, uh, this is a PlayStation 2 game, Bully by Rockstar.
It's a good game.
That
It's
was
a
a
really good game.
great. The story was good. Even like after the story, just constantly just running around, just beating people up, and and like there's just so much to do in Bully. I wish they would just come out with a second one, but I doubt they ever will.
Can't say
But
I've ever played it.
oh, it's such a good game. It's basically like you go to a private school and like you're just like this troublemaker. You know, you skip class, you can go to class. I
You
mean,
make out with girls. You
Make
beat the
out-
shit out of bullies.
yeah, like just so good and
Just such a douchebag.
yeah, he was a douche. What was his name? Was it Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah, it's Jimmy. And there's like different groups. Like there's like the greasers, like the jocks, the nerds, the preppy kids, and like you were just kind of like in your own little group. You know, like you really didn't have anybody besides like when you met this one girl. I can't think of her name, but yeah, it was good. It was fun. Just beating. I remember
I
one.
never played it personally, but I watched someone play it.
Yeah. My favorite thing was just beating up the hobos. Just finding a hobo and just beating the crap out of him was the best. I don't know
You want
why.
to talk about it? You want to talk about that, Big Chief?
I mean, I'd love to beat the hobos that live around me. I mean, freaking digging the
Damn.
trash and
Damn.
yeah. Remember that joke I had? It's like we're gonna go war with the hobos. Yeah, that's what started it. Have PTSD from that.
Get a world hobos. The Fallout games are a big thing for me.
Like
I like them a lot.
Like
Like
all of them,
Fallout.
like or,
All up until New Vegas. I hated New Vegas.
really.
I despised New Vegas.
I thought New Vegas was good. I thought New Vegas was well, gameplay wise. I thought New Vegas was better than 3.
No.
You
Vegas-
just no.
No.
What, New Vegas?
Yeah, I
I'm
thought
at
I just
76. I'm at 76.
okay.
I was thinking, I was like, New Vegas is the shit. 76, horrible. 76 was horrific. Made me want to die.
Never got to play 76.
Don't. Well, I liked those games, and then I also, this was a cheesy one, so I'm just gonna lump it in with Fallout, Minecraft.
That should be
Shit.
everybody's. Minecraft was another part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in a bust. Y'all's turn.
Connor.
Oh boy. Oh, here's a new recent one. God of War.
Okay, you're not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
I
You're
could
20.
be a kid at heart. No.
You're 20. What do you
Alright,
mean?
Connor. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do thou mean?
Oh. MW3.
Okay, that's better.
MW2. MW2.
I
My first COD.
No, MW3, besides Reach, we got with the Xbox. And we got the MW3 version of the Xbox too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, just the campaign as a little kid and going through New York, going through submarines was just so much fun. And then the multiplayer just getting like custom matches with your friends was fun. I had this annoying sentry placement on this map. I can't remember the map's name, and I swear I could just see the whole map, and everyone would just get mowed down. Everyone got so mad, but it
Because
was
you were hacking, right?
yeah. I secretly hacked MW3, and
Wow.
Um,
then I never played MW2 after a little bit, and then I quit because I could not handle the flashbangs and the noob tubes.
I have a twofer. So one, my buddy and I used to play this a bunch. Um, NCAA Football 13. I put so many hours into that game. To me, is the best college football game that ever came out. In my opinion, it was so good. The gameplay, the customizations, the story, or not the story mode, but the Road to Glory mode, the franchise mode, everything in it was so good. It was just really fun to play, and me and my buddy, we spent so many hours playing that game together. Like we just pick random college teams and see if we can take them to the national championship and win. We actually played on harder difficulties, so that way it made it even harder for us. But my last one here. This game is still by far my favorite game of all time right now for the PS2, and it is part of the Resident Evil series. Resident Evil 4 is by far the game that made my childhood. I remember my first time playing this game, which is probably the reason why I love horror games, was when I first started playing it, I was scared shitless. I was terrified of this game. But then, like, I was like, I couldn't stop playing it though. Like, I was scared, but I could not stop playing it. And the game, oh, it's so good. The combat, the character personalities, and the voice acting, the bosses, the enemies, how like every area you went to, it was different. Um, the game, like the story was so good because you know it made it to where you had a certain emotion to a character, like the bosses. Like you had to feel like one of the main bosses that you face. He's like, oh, like the big bald dude, like, oh, he's a tough guy. And then you meet this little annoying dude, and it's like, okay, like, wow, like, fuck this kid, or whatever he is. And then like you have ones that you're like, oh, he's big and bad, and like, oh, like I hate this one, and it's like, oh, I like this guy, but I have to fight him because he's bad, and everything in that game, character development, story, everything was good in it. The mercenary mode was decent. I'm not gonna say it was the best. I just didn't really care for the mercenary mode. But just the overall game, Resident Evil is the best. I have it on PlayStation 2 and PS3. I'm actually probably gonna buy it for the PS4 as well. But those are my last two. So
um, I got two. These are my last two as well. I'm getting Dishonored. That was
okay,
a game that I don't think too many people played. It was real fun. I enjoyed playing the hell out of it. It was a stealth game. It was my favorite stealth game by far. Well, my favorite part about it is the fact that if you killed people, or instead of like knocking them out, or if you did a lethal approach or a non-lethal approach, it would give you would affect the city. It'll make them later missions harder than before, than regular. It only got better in the second one. Like if you fucked up and killed too many people, like places would get infested with like gross shit. It was good. It was phenomenal. One of the best stealth games I've ever played. Easily, it's my one of my favorite games.
would
And
you
then my
say?
other one, huh?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but would you say like when you say stealthy, like more stealthy than like Assassin's Creed?
Yes, yeah.
Really? I've never
Most
played
definitely.
Dishonored.
It's good. It's good. It's good. You get like an approach to things. It's
Okay.
real good. Um, we can now share play it to you if you want to play it at some point. Just let me know.
Alright.
And then Dead Space.
Oh,
Those really got me into like the horror games.
oh,
'Cause I
Dead
played the
Space.
second one.
I did
I
not get.
watched someone play the first one, and I played the second one. I fucking was scared to get this. I didn't play that game for like 2 weeks after one of the jump scares.
Yeah, Dead Space, man. I
Dead
didn't get
Space is
that
so
till
good.
like later on in my life. Actually, I didn't. Yeah, I say I didn't really play Dead Space until I met my fiance. When we first started dating, we'd actually like FaceTime her, and I would have like my phone looking at the TV so she could watch me play because she loves watching horror games as well. And I beat the first one, and I did not beat the second one. So
The second one was by far the best.
yeah, the second one was really good.
Second one was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I
Third one
just
was good, but it was good, but it, yeah.
all right, Connor, your final two. Just gotta
Oh man. Okay, we're going back all the way back again, back to the GameCube.
think. Ooh,
Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Super Smash Bros. Jeez.
First ever Smash game I played. And like Sonic, my brother and I would just fight each other and we would play that game forever. It's so much fun. Hell, we even still play it. My brother somehow, I don't know how, uploaded it to our Wii, and we played that for a couple hours. It's fun. Until I got Smash Bros. Ultimate. And
I don't like Disney games.
Nintendo, bucko. Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Another
fuck.
one.
I don't like them anyways.
That got me into Pokemon games, even though they're popular, was Pokemon Colosseum on the
Is that the-
GameCube.
Oh no, that's not what I thought it was.
That's the one where you get Espeon and Umbreon instead of your traditional starters. And I just thought it was just so cool looking. The guy that you played as, and how he stole like this gauntlet. And I don't know what the lore behind it was. I just was like, I want to catch Pokemon. And this guy just broke into a house or whatever with bandits, beat them up, takes the gauntlet, and just drives off.
Yeah, I've
And-
never fucking played that game in my life.
Yeah. I never had. Well, growing up, I had the PlayStation 1. Then later on came the PlayStation 2. I had a Game Boy Color, or was it Game Boy Advance? Something like
Game
that.
Boy Advance.
I had a couple of those, yeah. Then
I had a
the,
regular Game Boy.
Yeah,
That
my
was
brother had
fun.
one of those. Also had a PSP, and then the PlayStation 3 came in. later on.
Pokemon Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire are the best games. No one can tell me otherwise.
Platinum is the best Pokemon game.
Gen 3 is the
Yeah,
best gen.
That's correct.
Never
Platinum
had
is
DS.
the best.
Later.
Platinum is the best Pokemon game to ever exist.
Gen
You can
4
move on.
second. Gen 3 on top.
Okay, Platinum's still the best. It doesn't matter.
Gen
Platinum's the
Platinum
best.
is Gen 4 Bucko. Which
Yeah,
is
I know, which is better
spot
than Gen 3.
second.
Yeah. Better,
Okay.
but you know, whatever. You
Alright.
can be wrong. It's okay.
All right, so is that everybody's? Does one came to mind or anything, just in case?
That's everything for me. Yeah.
Connor,
Do it.
is that all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Little update for you, real quick. Me and Purple finished The Forest. It's gonna be a two-part episode for the final one. You will not be able to hear me very well, I believe, in part 2 because I did not pull down my microphone. I apologize for that, and I will put that in the video. And our next RP server series,
Can you stop that?
our next RP series is going to be Conan, which we might have an additional 2 joining us. or it might be just us dicking around. Because I don't know if one of our friends he joins us every once in a while if he's going to be into that. So it might be just us dicking around with him, but we might have a fourth
Murdering
for
Connor.
yeah, we might have a fourth for Conan, which is actually I don't even know if is he a team member still.
I don't know. I don't think
Yeah,
we've made anything with him.
yeah, we have not made a single thing with him.
We planned to. Planned to.
So we'll see, but check that out. Also, Road to Apex Legends is coming up.
Apex Predator.
Apex Predator. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Me too.
Yeah, it's coming up. So let's load up, boys. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.